Thank you. Y'all join me in the invocation this morning. Heavenly Father, we're thankful for this day. We're always grateful for an opportunity to serve you and our community. Lord, we pray that you give us wisdom and direction today. We want to be good stewards over the county's business and blessing of all our residents here. Thank you, Father, for how you watch over us and protect us and all the blessings that we enjoy from you. We do pray in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. Join me in the pledge to the United States flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now the Texas pledge. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. I'll proceed. Do you have any announcements today? I don't have any here. The one announcement I have is later today, our proposed budget will be filed and posted, and certainly I appreciate all you department heads taking a look at that. That's the proposed budget, so we have some time to make some changes or adjustments if you see something that we may have missed. So please review that thoroughly. I don't have any public comments today. We do have a quorum present. Present voting today, Precinct 1, Commissioner Hatfield, Precinct 2, Commissioner Timmons, Sims presiding, Precinct 3, Commissioner Coos, Precinct 4, Commissioner Ebar. It's 9:03 a.m. We'll call our Commissioners Court to order. This is a regularly scheduled meeting of the Harrison County Commissioners Court here on the 12th day of August, and we're at the historic courthouse here in Marshall, Texas. Our first item this morning comes from our auditor, the submission of financial reports. Good morning, Ms. Haynes.
Good morning, Judge Commissioners. You should have a copy of the June 2025 report. Please keep in mind these are unadjusted and unaudited fund balances. As of June 2025, we have a fund balance of $40,862,957. On page 2 is a summary of the general fund. As of June 2025, we have collected $27,940,189 in comparison to $26,943,892. That's an increase of $996,296, or a 3.7% increase. The majority of that is related to the property taxes that we're collecting. At the bottom of the page is a summary of expenditures. As of June 2025, we have spent $21,644,385 in comparison to $18,678,310 in June of 2024. That's an increase of almost $3 million. If you'll note, $2 million of that is related, almost $2 million, 1.9 is in public safety. Keep in mind that's where the communications payments are being made, along with the SBDAC that we had. That was $500,000 by itself. On page 3 is the net position for the general fund. As of June 2025, we have collected $6,295,803 more in revenue than what we have spent, in comparison to $8,265,582 in FY24. On page 4 is a summary of the Road and Bridge Fund. As of June 2025, we have collected $6,615,673 in comparison to $7,280,849. That's a decrease of $665,176, or 9.1%. If you'll notice, what's driving that is other financing, and that's the sale of our motor graders in FY24 that we do not have in FY25. From an expenditure perspective, we have spent $3,950,327 in comparison to $6,663,821 in FY '24. Again, motor graders, we had the balloon payment and we had the purchase of motor graders in '24. On page 5 is a summary of the net position for Road and Bridge Fund. We have collected $2,665,346 more than what we have spent in comparison to $617,029 in FY '24. On page 6 through 11, I believe, yes, 11 is a summary of the revenue collections in comparison to budget by department. On page 12 through 16 is a summary of expenditures in comparison to budget by department. On page 17 is a summary of our debt. Right now, we have a debt of $1,086,696. If our budget is approved, this will no longer be here because this is for debt, and if we go forward with the budget, we're considering this debt as operating debt, not like a general obligation debt. So if the budget's approved, this will be removed in the coming months, and it will just be part of our operating expenses. And that's all I have for the financials.
Do you have any questions for Ms. Haynes on her financial reports? If not, we'll move on to item number 1, this is consideration and approval regarding the line item transfers.
Requesting transferring $262,501.91.
You guys have had a chance to review that. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Hatfield, second by Commissioner Timmons. Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. Item number 2 is consideration and approval of payment of regular bills.
Requesting payment of $970,994.60. Included in that, if you'll note on page 1, is a bill for the Sheriff's Department for $2,200. One of the vehicles that was sold in the auction in June was a forfeiture vehicle. The way that our auction works, they deposit a lump sum in our main account, and then we have to receipt it based on what fund it should go to. With forfeiture vehicles, that has to go back directly to that fund. So we are issuing a check to the sheriff's office for $2,200 that will be deposited into the narcotics fund because that's their forfeiture account. Just as reference, the auction did bring in $90,786.01. So, and that's dispersed between Constable 2, DA forfeiture, maintenance, Road and Bridge, Sheriff, and the Sheriff's Chapter 59. So I think we did pretty good on our auction.
It's good to get our assets cleaned up.
Yes, very much so.
You guys have had a chance to look at our expenses, the regular bills here. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second. Motion by Commissioner Timmons, second by Commissioner Coos. Any other questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. Item number 3 is consideration and approval of payroll for August 1st, 2025.
Motion.
Second. Motion by Commissioner Ebarb, second by Commissioner Coos. Any questions or comments on our payroll? The net pay was $509,598. The motion is the second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None. Motion passes 5-0. Number 4 is consideration and action to approve the auditor's office to apply for the SCAAP 2025, that's the State Criminal Alien Assistance Program grant for Harrison County, and awarded authorization for the county judge to execute acceptance of said grant award documents.
This is the annual SCAP grant that we apply for each year.
Is there a motion to approve?
Motion. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Ebar, second by Commissioner Timmons. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? None, motion passes 5-0. Number 5, this is consideration and action to approve a budget amendment pursuant to local government code section 111.0106. It's a special budget for grant or aid money. This is the Local Assistance and Tribal Consistency Fund, LACTF-2496, and you'll remember this came out of the kind of coronavirus era of grants.
So this is, 100,000 of it is related to the LACTF 2496 grant. The $45,743.11, that's the interest from the time we received the ARPA funds until now that we have earned on that $12 million. And we can, on both of these, we can use these funds in any manner except for lobbying. That's the only restriction that we have. So I asked Judge Sims about this, and what he's requested is to complete a budget amendment, and we're going to use these funds to cover a portion of the expense related to the jail roof.
So we needed this, but these funds are sitting there waiting for us to spend them on something. We can use them on anything, so we just picked kind of an up-and-coming project to.
The funds have been sitting there since about 21, and I have to complete a annual report. And each year I've been saying no expenditures, and I think we just need to go ahead and spend it because my concern is they might come back and claw it back.
It's a good place to spend it. I thought maybe you guys will agree. Is there a motion to approve this special budget for this grant or aid money?
Motion. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Timmons, second by Commissioner Hatfield. Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, our motion
Thank you.
passes 5-0. Thank you. Next up is Road and Bridge. Good morning, Mr. Davis.
Good morning, Your Honor, Commissioners, how y'all doing?
Good.
So as of right now, we've got 15.745 miles completed. We have 4.1 miles in progress. So we've had plenty of good weather. We are starting to get some afternoon showers and wind storms, so we have to pull off our road construction and go and fix washouts and move trees and stuff. But we are moving along pretty good. On the west side, they should finish up Everett Road today, and we'll be mobilizing the Walker's Mill Road. And it's about 1.1 miles we're gonna do on Walker's Mill, so it'll complete Walker's Mill all the way to 449. The main reason we didn't do that in the past is because of all that activity going to that new subdivision there at that lake where they have that giant subdivision. But they're about to slow down so we can't get in there and do it. On the east side, we're still over on Strickland Springs Road. We completed 1 mile or 2 miles of it, and we have a 3rd mile in progress, but we should finish it up by next week. So you have a smooth road all the way from Old Town to 2625, and next year we'll try to get the north end. But it's been a very long project, and they did finish up their chip sealing and everything turned out great.
You're happy with Lone Star?
Yes, they had a rocky start, but once they got going, they did a good job.
Is Franklin still on the list?
It is, if we can get to it, if our funding holds out and the weather.
Now, that was last year's excuse.
Yeah, right. But it is on the list. And that's all I have on the construction report.
questions for Mr. Davis on this construction report? If not, we'll move on to item number 1, it's consideration and approval of personnel changes for Harrison County Road and Bridge.
There's been one resignation since our last court meeting, so we still have 7 full-time slots open.
Is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second. Motion by Commissioner Timmons, second by Commissioner Coos. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, our motion passes 5-0. Number 2 is consideration and action regarding the utility application submitted to Harrison County Road Bridge Department as attached for Spectrum Gulf Coast LLC. I'll read these right quick. Antioch, Road, Barrett Gibson, Bennett Road, Blocker Road, Cargill Road, Carter Road, Haggerty, Key Farm, Leather Shop, Lotter Road, Marshall Lee Road, Old Legion Road, State Line Road, and Trice Road.
Yeah, these are all new fiber optic. The apps have been reviewed, and they do meet our standards outlined in our utilities application.
Expecting, I mean, they continue to be pretty busy, that y'all still working well together with them?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
everybody's sort of getting used to one another, so it's moving along pretty quick.
Been doing pretty well. but-
Yeah, we haven't had near the calls we did when they first started, so they're moving along good, and they're cleaning up after themselves, and so they're working out great.
Very good. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second. Motion by Commissioner Timmons, second by Commissioner Coos. Any other questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, our motion passes 5-0. Number 3 is consideration and approval of private road issuance order number 91 for private road number 1241 running east and turning south off of FM 9 approximately 635 feet north of the intersection of East Shreveport Camden Road, which is County Road 1221 and Farm Road 9, located in precinct 1.
Yeah, this is at the request of EDCOG. It's for addressing these roads they've been inspected, and they meet all our requirements that are outlined in the Harrison County addressing standards.
All right, is there a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Hatfield, second by Commissioner Timmons. Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. Number 4 is consideration and approval of private road issuance order number 92 for private road 3704 running north off of FM 449, approximately 856 feet east of the intersection of Walker's Mill Road, which is County Road 3705, and FM 449, located in precinct 4.
Yeah, this is the same. It's at the request of EDCOG, and it does meet our county addressing standards.
Is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
Motion by Commissioner Ebar, second by Commissioner Coos. Any questions or comments? EDCOG's continuing to clean up all these, I guess, issues with mapping and what have you, and that's just.
That's right. That's right. As long as they do meet our standards, we're fine with it.
Okay, very good. A motion and a second, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, our motion passes 5-0. Next up is consideration, and this is number 5, consideration and action to approve the pre-bid lease purchase of 3 dump trucks through the Texas Interlocal Purchasing System, and to authorize the county judge to execute any and all documents related to said lease purchase agreement for Road and Bridge Department, subject to acceptance of necessary financial agreement.
Yeah, this is this 3 trucks that are up for the turn back in and receive 3 more. In 3 months, we'll have 4 going back. There's a slight increase, but this is still a great deal for us. We run them for 13 months and give them back and get new ones.
Yeah, I mean, you're constantly in a brand new truck, which is great. So this is a lease purchase, and East Texas MAC gives us a pretty generous buyback. We're buying 1 dump truck for $180,000, using it for 13 months. They give us $165,000 back.
That's pretty cheap.
Yeah, so it's not bad.
We don't even have to service them.
Yeah, hardly have to change oil.
That's right.
So that's for 3 of them on this, in this group, and you said you got 4 more coming up?
Yes, sir, in 3 months.
All right. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Hatfield, second by Commissioner Ebar. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Thank y'all.
Yep. I have one other question for you, Luke, and I meant to ask it earlier, I'm sorry, about the mowing. We got a right-of-way mowing done.
Yes, sir, this first round, they finished up.
You were pleased again with that?
Yes, we had to send them back to a couple of roads they couldn't get the back slopes on because it was so wet this year at the beginning of spring and the beginning of summer. But they didn't hesitate. They went back and got them. They made the rounds, so we'll plan our next rounds in October, right before the holiday season, so everything's nice and manicured for the holidays.
Super, thank you.
You're welcome.
Next up from the Sheriff's Department, this is Administrative Report. Morning, Sheriff.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners, how are y'all this morning?
Good.
Our activity summary for July and a few days into August here, looks like, we answered 3,895 calls for service. We took 95 criminal reports, 42 of which were assigned to the Criminal Investigation Division for further investigation. We arrested 114 individuals, did 685 traffic contacts, handled 13 mentals, did 62 transports in the Transport Division for a total of 12,350 miles of transporting. We received 202 legal documents, 63 personal services, 27 indictment precepts, excuse me, were served in the jail, 34 tax postings, 24 county and district, and 1 Harrison County Central appraisal district posting, for a total of 149 served. We sent out 1,600 jury summons. 258 is our current jail population, which is really good because we were bumping 290 for several weeks there. We're housing 1 for Marion County on contract inmates and 39 U.S. Marshal inmates right now, for a total of 40 contract inmates in the jail at this time. Let's see. We did 8 fire inspections, 7 illegal dumping cases, 9 loads of litter were delivered to the dump, 5,040 cubic feet of litter were picked up, and 6 structure fires in our Fire Marshal's Division. They fielded 16 complaints, 4 notices of violations, 31 inspections, 17 utility hookups for Upshur Rural Electric Company, and I don't know about Panola Harrison, the number wasn't available. 23 single-family permits for a total of $8,280. You're keeping up with this. 1 commercial permit for a total of $560. 1 subdivision review for $50, for a total income brought in of $8,890 for the month. And the total collected on food permits, this is something we added to this report this month, was $2,275.
How's that going? I know it's pretty new for us to be doing those inspections. Is that going well?
It is. Daryl's had a little family deal that he's had to deal with, so we've kind of limped it along, but it's going well. It's going very well, honestly. I don't see any reason it can't continue the way it is for right now, to be transparent about it.
All right, super. You guys have any other questions for the Sheriff?
I just got one quick question. Sheriff, I'm always amazed at the number of total calls what we have. We got 3,895 calls. That's a lot of calls. What does it take for a call to be counted? I mean, is that every time? Explain what.
Any call for service, any traffic stop, any time a deputy's utilized is what that is, pretty much.
Wow. Okay, I know it's always got a comma in it.
They're busy. They're
Yeah.
busy. And that includes CID when they go out on follow-ups to locations. That's any time an officer enacts in a call log of any kind, that's what that is.
All right, good. Well,
Sheriff, you and I, just along those, just commenting, you and I we were talking about budget items, and we were talking about planning for the future, and you mentioned the need for, at some point in the next few years, to expand your annex jail.
That is correct.
And just because when it was built and looking forward, the plan was in about
2027 was the plan.
we probably need to expand. It was set up for it to expand, and you
Well-
mentioned that we're staying full, getting close, and so I just wanted you to talk about that.
That's correct. Captain Hain came to me the other day. He said when the plans for the jail were originally laid out, the plan was the jail was built to be built onto. We all, the ones that were here know that. The kitchen is already built to handle the extra capacity, the hot water heaters, the et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I guess you'd have to add ACs and lighting to the new add-on. The jail was supposed to be good till 2027, according to our growth. According to his recent growth charts, I don't know who he gets this stuff from, but I'll have him make a presentation for you if you'd like. But we are at in 2025 where they thought we would be in 2027. So we're 2 years ahead of schedule on outgrowing our jail. We're staying at max capacity probably 90% of the time right now, and it ain't getting any better. It ain't getting any better. The new issues and the new wave of fentanyl and other things has really made things step up as far as the numbers and people coming to jail. So, you know, I tell people all the time just a quick note for thought. When I started here, just to tell you how much society has changed in 24 years, we had one female tank and it had 6 beds in it. That's the only female tank the Harrison County Jail had, and it was never full. We house between 45 and 65 females now. It's times have certainly changed, and so anyway, we're staying around 285, 290. Our max capacity without using the old jail upstairs on the 4th floor, which is a storage unit now, is 330. So we're just about running on the red line. So.
Well, I appreciate you sharing that, because I mean, we need to be planning for that.
Yep. That jail, as far as everything I've been told about it, is all it would need is walls and bars. It's everything else as far as supporting the jail's growth is already in the new jail. So, you know, as far as food and like I said, hot water heater and other systems are already in place for it. So,
Thank you for that, Sheriff.
food for thought.
Yep.
Thank y'all.
You got a couple more items on there, I think. At least one.
Oh yeah, I did.
Item number 1 is consideration of approval for out-of-state travel for investigator Cody Hargrove and investigator Kaylee Wallace to travel to Westminster, Colorado, November 2nd through the 8th to attend the bloodstain pattern analysis and rent a vehicle as they arrive in Colorado.
These schools, you can find local schools with just local guys, or you can, you know, they've been to most of those. They've both been to advanced schools, but they haven't been. This is a regional, U.S.-wide type school that travels around the country, and you have to catch it when it gets somewhat close to you. And we haven't found it coming to Texas in this circle. It has before, but that's about as close as we could find it to get them to it. So that's the one we picked.
Sounds good. Is there a motion to approve?
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Coos, second by Commissioner Ebar. Any other questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. Thank you, sir.
I got to step out. I have another meeting conflicting to. I was going to sit with Dwight, but Dwight's got a good presentation for the end of court, and he's already run it down with me. It's very, very well done. He's got a lot of hours in it, but I appreciate y'all helping and hearing with that. But I have to step out for something else.
Thank you, sir.
Thank y'all.
Next up, we'll hear from our county clerk about her minutes for last month. Unless y'all just want to approve them. Might as well put her on the spot. Item number 1 is consideration of approval of the transcribed minutes of Commissioners Court meeting on July 29th, 2025. You guys have had a chance to review those. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Timmons, second by Commissioner Hatfield. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. Item next up, under the Treasurer's report, item number 1 is consideration of approval of quarterly fees paid to the state comptroller by the county treasurer for April 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2025. Good morning, Ms. Rushing.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. For the second quarter 2025, months April through June of 2025, we paid the state on the civil fees report $34,295.84. We were able to retain $13.88. Criminal fees report, we paid the state $118,466.91. We were able to retain $20,369.27. And the electronic filing report, we paid the state $139.24. Sexual assault report, we paid the state $45. Specialty court report, we paid the state $11.79. Of that whopping total, we were able to retain $1.31. Total paid to the state was $152,958.78, and we were able to retain a total of $20,384.46. Grand total being $173,343.24 for the second quarter of 2025.
Very good. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Hatfield, second by Commissioner Ebar. Any questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. Number 2 is consideration approval of Harrison County Treasurer's investment report for the month of June 2025.
For the month of June, in Texas class, we began the month with $1,151,857.25. Interest rate 4.4. We earned $4,174.70 with an ending balance with Texas class $1,156,031.95. Texas Bank and Trust wealth management, we earned for the month of June, and that's not a typo, it's due to timing, $5,991.44 with a balance of total investments with Texas Class and Texas Bank and Trust Wealth Management, $19,394,373.88. Texas Bank and Trust Money Market, interest rate was 4.63. We earned interest of $66,579.10. Texas Bank and Trust main account, interest rate 3.56. We earned $4,620.64. Total earned for the month of June interest was $81,365.88 with a year interest total of $1,151,820.58.
That is fantastic. One question I have for you is on the last group, the main account, our interest rate jumped up to 3.56. Why that sudden change?
That was in our agreement with our, when we renegotiated our bank, they agreed to do that.
Fantastic. All right, we'll take it. Any other questions for Ms. Rushing? If not, is there a motion to approve our treasurer's investment report for June 2025?
Motion.
Second. Motion by Commissioner Timmons, second by Commissioner Coos. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. Number 3 is consideration and action regarding the approval of the treasurer's monthly report for June 2025 and authorization to publish on the county website pursuant to local government code section 114.026.
For the month of June, our beginning balance was $20,499,947.25. Receipts, $3,705,624.33. Disbursements, $6,098,263.25. Investment total, $19,394,373.88. So cash ending plus investments, for the month of June is $37,501,682.21.
Thank you, Ms. Rushing. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Timmons, second by Commissioner Ebarb. Questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Next up, from purchasing, item number 1, consideration and approval to solicit a request for proposals to financial firms for the audit services for Harrison County. Good morning, Ms. Haynes.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. Yes, sir, the Auditor's Department requested, we've used the same company for years, and they just wanted some different eyes to see if maybe we could have some more improvements. And this is to solicit requests for proposals from about 8 firms.
So you'll publish this, and who, I guess, you're gonna send it to 8 different firms?
Yes, sir, send it out to 8.
Only those 8, or
Well,
will it
there's
be
a-
open to anybody?
It's well,
It's open to anyone.
yes,
Okay.
it's open to anybody. There's a list of probably about, 15 firms that do
I see.
this, what we do, so.
Okay. Very good. So you'll publish this and reach out to get some requests for proposals for auditors.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Hatfield, second by Commissioner Ebarb. Any questions, comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. Number 2 is consideration and approval of the renewal of the Eaton on-site service plan for the model 9170 plus UPS. That's the backup power system located in Harrison County Jail.
Yes, sir, this is, I believe this is for their servers. It's a pretty big, it needs to be serviced and hasn't been, or Captain Haynes sent this to me and asked that we put this on here. Because the service agreement's out, it needs to be renewed.
All right. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Hatfield, second by Commissioner Timmons. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. Number 3 is consideration and approval for the following items to be declared as surplus. We've got an air compressor, a body camera, 2025 Mack, that's gonna be a dump truck. We've got three 2025 Mack dump trucks.
And there's one item that we added the last minute, but apparently didn't get on the agenda. It's
A copier.
a Datamax copier, yes.
Yep, that is on our
It is on there, okay.
sheet. I got it on the sheet. You guys should see that, it's just not on the agenda.
It's item 11027. And that Datamax is picking it up, and I believe they're bringing another one. But the 3 dump trucks are the ones that Luke talked about earlier. They're part of the buyback program.
Sure.
And this is the first 3.
All right, so these items are proposed to be declared as surplus so that we can sell them back or run them through an auction, whatever.
Yes, sir.
Motion to approve.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Timmons, second by Commissioner Hatfield. Any questions, comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Our next item, and Brad Thomas was gonna be here to present and talk about these. He asked me to do it for him, so maybe I won't be too rough on me. But this item number 1 is Brad couldn't be here today, so it's me. Item number 1 is consideration and action regarding approval of a contract regarding Weather Shield's proposal or PMR's proposal for the TIPS proposal for the jail annex construction. That is replacing, not really replacing, but redoing the roof. You guys know, we've had troubles for years on that roof with it leaking, and this proposal would eliminate those leaks and give us a lot more years of service. Just quickly, these are both 60 mil surfaces. They would lay some material in between the ribs of that sheet metal to make it level. Coat it with 60 mils. You could do a 50 mil or 60 mil. We went with the thicker material. Weather Shield has a 2-year workmanship guarantee and a 20-year guarantee on their product. PMR has 5 years on their workmanship, 20 years on their product. So PMR's workmanship guarantee is a little better, 3 extra years, but you pay $142,000 more for that. So I guess my thinking is probably not a lot's gonna go wrong in the first 5 years, and if it did, surely we could get it repaired for less than $142,000, especially being that the material is covered. This would only be their work. So Brad's suggestion was to go with Weather Shield for a total cost of $402,000. If you look on your second page, you'll see that we'll owe $201,000, half of that up front at their mobilization, and then 50% the other half on completion. $402,324.68. That was Brad's recommendation, and I agree with him. So I'll make a motion to approve. Is there a second? Second. Motion by Sims, second by Mr. Coos. Any questions or comments on this TIPS contract with Weather Shield?
I think we ought to ask Brad to contact Weather Shield if there's a concern about that 3-year difference, and ask them if there's a possibility of them, at what cost would they extend it out to the 10-year, like PMR? Because it might not be that great a cost.
Okay.
I mean, it would be worth it if we're not talking about a large sum of money to extend it out for that other 3 years. Because, look, I mean, I don't think it's mandatory, but if it's truly apples to apples, I mean, we really kind of need to know, if PMR's is 10 year, then Weather Shield's 7 year. Yeah, there's a big chunk of money difference, but what would the possibilities be of them matching the 10 year at what cost?
So it's not 10, it's 2 and 5.
Oh, 2 and 5, well, then they ought to be more than 2. I thought it was 7 and 10.
So the material has a 20-year.
So it's basically the
The
workmanship.
workmanship is 2 years for Weather Shield, 5 years for PMR.
I'd tell Brad to tell Weather Shield we need to, order to go with them, we need them to match the 5 year with PMR. He doesn't need to tell them what the cost is.
So before us today is this agreement. You proposing to table this?
No, we need to move forward.
But you'd still like to ask him to go ahead and see if they would do it.
Well,
It won't hurt to ask.
all they can do is say no.
Okay.
Here's,
Ms. Haynes, you have a
We
comment?
may have an answer to that because Sarah has gone through both, she's gone through TIPS and gone over both of these companies and been in contact with both of these companies. She's checked references, et cetera, so she may have that information in her file. So I'll ask her when we get back over there and.
would you just send an email or to,
Yes, sir. That may answer, she may have answers to all your questions about that.
And with Brad being out, maybe she could reach out to these folks and say, you know, that,
She has been in contact with both of these companies.
just let them know that the other competitor had offered
Right,
5 years in workmanship, and we'd like to see if they'd be willing to do that too.
right. And she was concerned because there's such a monetary gap. She
Yeah.
wanted to know what we were not getting. And so she did a lot of extensive research on this, and she's got a pretty thick file on it.
Very good. All right, there is a motion and a second to approve this, and we'll appreciate the purchasing department reaching out to see if they'll give us some more years on the workmanship. We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, our motion passes 5-0.
Judge Sims,
Yes, ma'am.
are you approving the upfront payment, the 50% also?
Yes, that is part of this. That's why I mentioned it. That's part of this agreement. We approve the agreement, which is the what do they call it? The
Mobilization.
mobilization.
Okay,
Yep,
thank you.
so that 50% mobilization payment is approved, and the 50% upon, of course, successful completion. And we're happy with what they've done.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
thank you.
Thank you. Item number 2, this is consideration and action for approval to terminate the software contract with Harris.gov for the tax assessor's office that was approved December 17th, 2024, and authorization for the county judge to provide notice of termination under 15C of the contract, paragraph 20, for the notice provisions. Ms. Cook, would you like to speak to this at all, or you want me to explain what I know about it? And if y'all have some questions, you can ask her. We'd approved last year to get new software for our tax assessor's office as Ms. Cook got in there and looked at it, and being more comfortable with our current software, didn't feel like we were getting what we were paying for, and not great service from the folks who were trying to sell us this new high-dollar software. So it was her recommendation that we stay with who we have for now, and go ahead and send notice to these folks that we don't want their software.
Wasn't there another reason why we went with wasn't it supposed to communicate with the CAD's software? If we don't go, is yours still gonna do what you needed to do?
After discussing with the judge if it would be possible to terminate Harris.gov, I then called Southwest Data, who we currently have, and said, if this is approved, is it gonna be a problem for you to continue to service us when HCAD goes on Harris.gov? He says, no, we have other customers, we have different software, and we just convert it back to what we currently have. So he said there should be no problem. The only thing I knew for a fact, not being in contact with Veronica King before her passing, was that I knew she wanted to discontinue a server computer software and go to the cloud. I spoke with Southwest Data, and they said they have always had that available. Had Veronica known, she probably would have touched base with them, but there was no communication. So I asked the questions that I knew to ask, staying with Southwest Data rather than going to Harris.gov.
So it's not gonna create any kind of problem between,
It would not.
okay.
We've been with Southwest Data since 2000, I believe.
Very good. Well, thank you for investigating that. We don't want to pay for something and not be happy with it, so I appreciate it.
And it was a scheduling conflict. Seems like y'all were having trouble. I know you were trying to close a couple of hours on Tuesdays and Thursdays and,
We did
and,
have some training. Most of the training, I would say 75%, was geared toward HCAD. A couple of trainings were canceled. It was unavoidable. I'm not blaming HCAD, but it was unavoidable. So we haven't had a whole lot of training that was geared towards us. We haven't had a whole lot of modifications, if you want to call it modifications. I feel like they were just giving us a bare bones, and they were interrogating us what we already had in Southwest Data. And me trying to get with them just to get what we already have, you know, it's like buying a new car, and they say, oh, by the way, you don't mind rolling up the windows instead of having your electronics, do you? And I'm like, why would I pay more for something I don't have with you, what I'm already currently getting? It was just tug, and then I would say, well, I don't know why you need this. We're not arguing, but, and I'm like, it's just, I don't know, it's frustrating, to say the least.
yeah. I knew there was a customer relation problem there. So anyway, okay, thank you, ma'am.
That we needed. Every one of our girls have sat in on this training, and we are collections, and none of our girls know how to collect under this new software. And we did months of training, weeks of training, and they don't know how to collect, and that's our whole job is collections. So all we need is just collections, and our girls can do that in this new software. They don't even know where to go. And it is an issue. And it's fact that we work in parallel for years.
Thank y'all for bringing it to our attention.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Hatfield, second by Commissioner Ebarb. Any other questions, comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. And I notice under here that it's authorizing me to provide the notice of termination. Will you write that up or prepare what you want me to send to them?
I just thought, I thought you told me that after
guess we can. All right, I didn't know if you had something handy. If you don't, we can do it, but that's fine. All right. On to item number 3, we're still in new business. This is consideration and action subject to ratification in open court, the approval of the discretionary exemption check for $2,107.33 to Central Title and the resolution between Harrison County and ET Properties LLC for the purchase price of $50,000 for the property being .66 of an acre located at 2110 Warren Drive, Marshall, Texas 75670, and said purchase is to be used as credit for hangar rent at Harrison County Airport by ET Properties LLC. You guys remember, I think we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. This is the third and final piece of property that we were looking to acquire at the airport. This piece of property is off-site. It was a property that bordered our airport, had a hangar on it, and the owner was driving from off of the airport property through our fence onto airport property, which the FAA doesn't like, and so our remedy was to acquire that property and we'll fence it in. I've met with Brad and his guys. When it gets a little cooler this year, we'll build a fence around and enclose this 0.6 of an acre that includes the hangar, and we'll stop this through the fence operation. Agreed upon purchase price was $50,000. We didn't have to pay that. We're just going to credit it off of his hangar rent, which you'll see in the next 2 items. Is there a motion to approve?
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Timmons, second by Commissioner Hatfield. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. Item number 4 is consideration and action regarding the approval of 35-year Harrison County Airport ground lease. It's a tenant constructed hangar. It's number 23 between Harrison County and ET Properties LLC, commencing on August the 1st, 2025 and ending July 31, 2060, and aircraft registration for said hangar. So down here at this property, there were 2 hangars. One of them had a 99-year lease, which the FAA strongly disapproves of a lease that long. And then we had the off-site lease, or off-site hangar that we just acquired. So our tenant, ET Properties, owns both hangars. He's agreed to this new lease, which is our standard lease, standard 35-year lease, which gets his current on-site hangar compliant, and he agreed to a new lease for the off-site one that we just bought to make them all square. So these 2 leases will square us up. So this first one is hangar number 23. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Coos, second by Commissioner Timmons. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. Number 5 is consideration and action regarding approval of the 35-year Harrison County Airport ground lease, tenant constructed hangar. This is number 23 between Harrison County and ET Properties LLC, commencing on August 1, 2025, ending July 31, 2060, and aircraft registration for said hangar. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Timmons, second by Commissioner Hatfield. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes
So
5-0.
there's 2 hangars on this property?
Yeah, that's 23A.
So one of them was already on our property, and we redid it from a 99 down to a 35. And then the second hangar was the off-site hangar that we just bought. We
It's
bought
in
the
it.
land, he still owns the hangar, and so this is a lease for the new one, the 23A.
But he won't be paying a lease on the hangar that's on that .6 acres?
He's not gonna be paying for either one of them because he's got a $50,000.
Right, I realize that, but at what point does the county own the hangar that we bought that's on the .6?
So we didn't buy the hangar, he still owns the hangar.
But he's gonna pay us for it to be on that property.
That's right. We have
Out of that,
the ground
the
lease,
ground.
out of that 50,000, yes, sir. So a typical ground lease, you go lease you a piece of ground and pay us. That's what he's doing. Then you build your hangar on it. That's your hangar. You can pay property taxes on it, whatever.
Okay.
So we just lease the ground only. And they build whatever they want. subject to our approval. Ms. Haynes, I will need your help probably making sure that we have us a good schedule so that we're knocking off the annual rent off of the 50,000 and we keep up with that.
Okay.
But that also satisfies the FCC with them.
The FAA with that, stopping that through the fence business, that's exactly
That's the
right.
biggest thing.
Yeah,
Yes,
right.
sir. That cleans up a whole lot of mess that we've had at the airport. So happy to get that done. Any other questions? All square. Item number 6, this is consideration approval of the acceptance of the FY 26 SB 224 catalytic converter grant, motor vehicle crime prevention authority in the amount of $213,727 with the county match of $53,432 to be effective September 1, 2025 through August 31, 2026, with the county match to be included in the FY 25-26 budget. Morning.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Hayes.
How are y'all?
Good.
Good. Yeah, I wanted to briefly talk to y'all about this. You may, if you look back when this was originally proposed, we were looking at a lesser amount, and the reason this went up is because of the type of cameras that we were originally looking at. We found out that those would really not fit the bill for us. Those were cameras that are a slower speed and a lesser distance. They're designed more for inside city use, where they're going to be right on a telephone pole right beside the street, and where speeds are much slower. Matter of fact, they won't capture anything over 70 miles an hour. And I said, well, nobody drives under 70 around, especially not out on our highway. So we had to go to a more expensive camera, which is about $2,000 a piece higher. So that's the reason, the difference in the upgrade. And also on the match part, one of the reasons that we decided to go with the lease is that, one, it's like our vehicles. It leaves us kind of, it unties our hands. We don't have to do a thing. They're going to keep up with all the permitting, all the repairs that's needed. Anytime we need to move one, they're more than happy to do that. Also, there's been some discussion, just like the old the red light cameras you see. There's a lot of controversy about them. So we didn't want to invest a whole lot of money in property that we might own that could potentially go away in the future. We hope it doesn't. This is great technology. But if it did, we would have several $1,000s worth of equipment that we don't have any purpose for. With the lease, there's no skin off our nose. They just come get their stuff and go home.
So, just to clarify, this is a catalytic converter grant. Got nothing to do with catalytic converters. This is strictly a license plate.
It will probably come under a different title next year. This was opened up this way simply because it was the only thing they had available at the time. And they said, let's just run it under the catalytic converter grant and get it going. We'll figure out another way to do it next year. But it is through the Motor Vehicle Crime Prevention Authority of the state of Texas, which originally was restricted just to auto theft task forces. And they kind of realized that they were kind of shortchanging themselves, not offering it to all law enforcement agencies in general. So that's what they've done.
So the stop sign cameras you mentioned, they were issuing tickets based off stop sign. We're not going to be issuing tickets
No.
based off this license plate.
No.
It's strictly to be.
These are going to be looking for stolen cars, or we can put any kind of information. If we have give you a good example, one of the best things that happened, and we don't even have any cameras yet. The city already has 8. And this information is shared nationwide by anybody that's on this system. We had a murder it's been about 8 months ago now here in Harrison County, and the suspect fled, and of course we didn't know where he went. Anyway, we got a tip through the city, who was contacted by Maine. Our suspect had fled to Maine, and his car was spotted through these cameras up there. So we contacted the Marshal Service, and they arrested our suspect, and we went and got him. But this is, I liken it to the next best thing to DNA and fingerprints. It's gonna really be good. One of the guys, when I was at the conference, said that he hoped he could improve his arrest ratio for stolen cars, and I'm saying, well, I'd kind of like to see it go to zero, and I kind of think the more agencies that participate in this, it's gonna make it very hard for anybody to steal a car. They're not gonna have any place to go.
How many cameras is involved in it?
28. And one of the things that we're planning on doing, one of the things we learned at the conference, a lot of our neighbors, Jefferson, MISD, Panola County, and Rusk County are also getting cameras. So we're gonna get together and make sure that our cameras along county lines are to our best advantage for everybody. That we don't wanna have, we don't wanna have two cameras, one for them and one for us at the county line pointing the same direction. We'll coordinate and get one going in, one going out.
So they're mounted permanent somewhere on the roadway?
All except for two. We're also getting 2 mobile units. You see, I think Hall's got one, the little portable speed limit signs. A lot of those are not just radar. A lot of them are LPRs. And that we'll have 2 of those that will give us the ability when we have an area that we have a lot of high crime traffic that we know is going on, it'll give us the ability to go and see who's coming in and out of that area.
So this is an 80% reimbursement grant. We'll be renewing this lease you're talking about every year.
Yes, sir.
And we'll also reapply for this grant every year. That'll
Yes.
continue to match at the same rate. Is that the intent?
So the rate will be the same, however, the match part will change. Because some of this, we're also investing in some other equipment that is gonna be a straight purchase. It's not a lease. We're getting a trailer, for, them to pick up, the cars we have on the side of the road, that they've been needing for quite a while. They've been using a regular utility trailer, and it's very difficult to work with. We're also getting some lighting and some surveillance cameras to go down at Callum Street, which is going, we have thefts down there all the time with people, with vehicles that were supposed to be under our care, but hopefully that's going to help improve that. But those items will be strictly purchased, so the match amount can change from year to year, depending on if we, like say next year, if we didn't buy any other additional equipment, you would see that number go down.
So this isn't just license plate readers, you got other items
Yes, sir.
in this?
Yes, sir.
And so after we purchase those, next year we won't have those
Correct.
expenses, so you're expecting our match the grant to go down and our match to go down?
Correct.
with it?
Correct.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Hatfield, second by Commissioner Timmons. Any other questions for Lieutenant Mays? Not all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. Item number 7 is right along these same lines. This is consideration, approval, and execution of a 1-year lease contract in the amount of $182,180, renewable each year unless the party gives the other party notice of non-renewal at least 30 days prior to the end of the current term, between Flock Safety and Harrison County for the installation, operation, and maintenance of these license plate recognition equipment that we've talked about, described in the lease document, with said lease to be budgeted in the FY 25-26 budget. So we talked about the grant. It'll fund the lease for these license plate readers, and that lease will be between us and Flock Safety, and that's what we're talking about.
Correct. And I also need to make a correction on this amount. I caught this last night as I was preparing some work, and I think Charlene's already interjected the correct number. It should be $181,000 even. There was a clerical error on their contract, and I caught it, gave them a call. They sent me a revised one, which is what you should have.
So the difference between the 181 and the 213,727 is the additional equipment that we're purchasing up front?
And the match, yes, sir.
So the total's 213,000, well, our match is
Yeah.
53,000, and then,
The total grant is 267.
I'm sorry, I got it backwards, yeah, 267.
Yeah, 159. Our part is the 53, 432, and their part will be the 213, 727.
But next year's will be 181. Is that what, for the reader equipment?
Yes, correct.
So we'll be responsible for 20% of that
Right.
after the additional first year.
All right, so we've adjusted that contract amount down to a level 181,000.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Ebar, second by Commissioner Timmons. Any other questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 5-0.
All right, thank you.
That's it. Thank you,
Appreciate it.
sir. Next up, item number 8 is consideration and action to approve the renewal of current bonds for County Judge Chad Sims and County Court at Law Judge Joe Black in the amount of, that's supposed to be $500,000 pursuant to Senate Bill 387 to be effective September 1st, 2025, and authorize payment of bond premiums in the amount of $1,585 per bond to be paid from the line item of the county judges 104.1, 4481.10, and county court at law judge is 100.426.4481.15. Legislature saw fit to increase our bonds substantially, and of course requires us to pay for a larger bond. That's this additional cost. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Hatfield, second by Commissioner Timmons. Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, our motion passes 5-0. Item number 9, this is consideration and acceptance of the submission of FY 26-27 budget for Harrison County Community Justice Assistance Division and Community Supervision and Corrections Department. Each year, we approve the budgets for these two departments, and they have no impact, I believe that's correct, no impact on the county's budget. This is all state budgets, but we do approve those for the Community Justice Assistance and the Community Supervision and Corrections Department. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Timmons, second by Commissioner Coos. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. Number 10 is consideration and action regarding the approval subject to ratification in open court the issuance of checks for mileage and per diem for the elections office employees to attend the Secretary of State Law Seminar Conference at the Kalahari Convention Center in Round Rock, Texas, August 10th through the 13th, 2025. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Timmons, second by Commissioner Hatfield. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, our motion passes 5-0. Number 11 is consideration and approval of application to the Texas Comptroller's Office to renew the Senate Bill 22 grant for Harrison County District Attorney's Office in the amount of $275,000 for the 25-26 budget year.
Yes, sir. So that time again, so this will be our third year to apply for these. It's time for to renew both ours and the Sheriff's Department. That'll be coming up next.
Is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Ebar, second by Commissioner Coos. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Any opposed? Hearing none, our motion passes 5-0. Number 12 is consideration and approval of application to the Texas Comptroller's Office to renew the Senate Bill 22 grant for Harrison County Sheriff's Office in the amount of $500,000 for the 25-26 budget year. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
Oh, just one thing I would like to add, they are gonna remove some of the strain and restriction off of us a little bit. They are gonna allow us to add a person, who can help, with some of the questions, and, you and I discussed, I would like to add Sherilyn, because some of the data that we need to answer some of their questions, on our reports as far as dates of hire, dates when they leave, so on and so forth. She is privy to more of that, more so than anybody else. She would be the ideal person to add to this.
Do you have the ability to add that?
We should have, probably in the next week or so, yes, sir.
Yeah, well, please do. Yes, sir. We had a motion by Commissioner Timmons. I don't know if I heard a second.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Hatfield. Thank you, sir. Any other questions or comments? I appreciate you handling this.
Yes, sir.
I know it's-
Glad to do it.
These are two little short lines, but there's a lot to do in all this stuff, so thank you. We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. Item number 13 is consideration and approval of the contract between Harrison County and EDCOG and Texas Eastern 911 Network so that EDCOG can continue the maintenance of the physical addresses assigned in the county and to assign new growth addresses in the county. The agreement shall be in effect September 1, 25 through August 31, 27, with the total cost being $5,570.60 for 2 years, with the cost to be paid in advance of receipt of services. You guys remember we did this a couple of years ago, and thankfully EDCOG, with the great mapping office that they have, stepped in to help Texas Eastern out of Henderson with their maps. They were antiquated and not up to date and current. EDCOG's got the latest and greatest mapping software, so they've been helping us through this. And I'm pretty sure that $5,570 gets paid by Texas Eastern, not by us. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Hatfield, second by Commissioner Ebar. Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. Item number 14 is consideration and approval of the renewal of Thompson Reuters Westlaw account number 10,001-23561, which will start August 1st, 2025, with a new monthly charge rate of $2,240 for a 3-year term with a 5% annual increase in the second and third years. This software, Westlaw software, is what our attorneys and the public can use as well, that the county is required to pay for and furnish. That's in our law library, so that the public can research, and certainly our attorneys, our DA's office can use that Westlaw account to research case law and statutes. Is there a motion to approve? Motion. Motion by Commissioner Coos, second by Commissioner Timmons. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. Item number 15 is consideration and action regarding the approval of the acceptance of the Hazard Mitigation Grant Program, the state award package in the amount of $100,828, with the federal share being in the amount of $89,224.20. The county local match share $11,603.80 to be included in the FY 25-26 budget and authorization for the execution of all documents related to this grant acceptance.
Well, here we are finally, 5 years later. Finally got the final approval and paperwork on this thing. And you got a lot of homework, Judge. This contract has, I counted, I think, 15 places for you to sign, and with some required reading also.
This is the generator?
Yes, sir.
For Road Bridge?
Yes, sir. I never seen so many signatures.
You might want to up your bond from 500,000 to
Won't get Dwight bond. All right, is there a motion to approve?
motion. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Ebar, second by Commissioner Timmons. Any other questions, comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. It's 10:15. We're gonna take about a 10-minute break. We'll come back and begin our budget workshop. I know HR's here and Mr. Weatherall, Constable Weatherall, is going to visit us as well. See you y'all back here that